Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Roadmap to Marriage.
We are backed by popular demand.
Yes, Dr. Paula C. Perez, author, speaker, educator, coach, wife, all of things.
All the important things. So me, Pastor John Perez, seminary, soon to be graduating.
Yes.
I am a grandfather, a father, a husband, a coach, a mentor, a civic leader, all of those wonderful things.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I'm still the most important job.
I appreciate that. So we're back this week with roadmaptomarriage.com, where our aim is to help give you the tools to attract, date, marry, and keep a godly man. So from single to spouse, that's what we're about. In today's topic,
I picked it.
can we talk?
I
Y'all
picked
know
it.
that song, Can We Talk for a Minute? Anyway.
You can sing better than I can.
So talking is so important. Why'd you pick this topic?
I picked this topic because I guess over 15 years, maybe. No, I think I've been really wrestling with it because I think that many people go in and they become chatterboxes during dating and then they shut the box during marriage. And it's it's a hard thing to lose. It's an easy thing to lose, but it's a hard thing to work back to.
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose because everybody goes in their own little world and they go.
Mhm.
But my concern really was, as I was talking to Dr. Paula, was, men, lay down, you throw out your little rap and you do whatever you're gonna do. You reel them in and you talking all good, and then the honeymoon comes and it's over and so are you. And I'm just saying is how to keep the engagement, because I think that's the hardest thing. Look, life happens.
Yep.
You'll get married, you'll potentially have children, you're now engaged with other family members, and there's a whole barrage of things that you're going to be dealing with. But how do you make sure you don't lose the central focus,
right,
of that verbal intimacy
that
is needed? Because I'll be honest, I am not the best student. I will throw myself under the bus. I don't need anybody to drive it. But it's really become more, the older I get, the more I'm realizing what I didn't do and what needs to be done. And I don't know, having just turned 62, and we've been together since I was 40, minus 15. But the older I get, the greater appreciation I have for her. And I'm noticing that, man, so I can't get time back. So what do I have to do? And that was really the impetus, the premise behind this. And I think that as I've been reading more and understanding more and trying to learn from others, that this is the jewel. You can look, if your body parts don't work the way they used to, you can still talk. If things don't go the way you want them, you can still talk. If you can't be intimate in one way, but you can be intimate in another, it is the greatest way to show intimacy, is to have that regardless of the conversation. So anyway, that was my whole get off my stump now.
And I appreciate it, because that's an area we're still working on. I appreciate your honesty.
I'm just being Tommy transparency right now.
I'm telling you, because I recall so many when we first started dating. You know how it is. You call and you talk all night long.
We talk? Yeah, we did.
That's it.
Talked in closets.
That's
talked in bathrooms. Talked in cars. Talked by text. And texting wasn't even, as 15 years ago, as defined as it is today with all the emojis.
True.
So that's that is my fear. I think that is my fear, that gets lost. And like I said, it's easy to lose. It's hard to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my concern. So anyway, that was the whole thing, is that losing, you know, there's that song that goes, "You lost that loving feeling." Well, that loving feeling is really, if you want to wrap it around, it's really around the intimacy of conversation.
It
And
is.
that's really where I have failed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, to me, I have failed. I have improved. I'm learning. I'm still trying to articulate feelings and emotions, which I have done a better job.
Yes, very much so.
I tell on myself more than anybody else. Trust me.
Yes, he does.
I tattle faster than anybody else, and it doesn't have to be anything wrong. It's just that if I'm dealing with something, I'd rather go in and deal with it
Mm-hmm.
than just say live with it. I don't want to live with it anymore. I'm too old to be living with this stuff.
So as we think about communication,
Yeah.
I know for me,
Mm-hmm.
it has been a challenge at times because early on in our marriage,
Yeah.
there was too much talking to people outside of our marriage.
Yeah, but we 86 that situation.
We definitely 86 it, but I know that impacted my transparency and
Yes, it did.
and the level of intimate details, I guess I would share, for fear that someone else would hear or
Yeah.
will learn.
Oh, look, listen. And I've fallen on that sword. I don't know, a lot of times.
Yeah.
But look, it was just, that was a lot of, look, at 47, I still had growing up to do. And at 62, I'm still growing. I'm still growing in me. But it was a challenge, and it was really a really heart sensitive situation. I'm going to put it that way. And I think, look, and if you're, let me say it this way. If you're still going to be married and attached to mommy or daddy, or in a sense of where they're the confidant and it's not the person who you're sleeping with, that's a problem. And I'm just saying, address it now. Because I think the best way I can describe it is that the umbilical cord has to get, and if it doesn't, if you're still throwing out lifelines, or you're still attached, it's going to cause friction. And that friction is going to be where somebody's going to just turn off.
Yeah.
And then your communication, again, to revitalize that, and you want to put the paddles on and say, okay, bring it back to life. You can't bring something back to life that you have killed because you've trusted someone else.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think the importance of really establishing a safe space and building on that trust. And we each have done things that have broken trust. But how do you come back from that? And I think being transparent, being able to express the wrong that was done is really important. And then just the importance of listening. There's times when we talk and we don't feel like the other spouse is hearing us.
But I think that look, if it's a he or the she, you got to own it.
Oh, totally.
And I think that you got to come, as we coach people, we're looking to see, so who do you talk to? Who do you trust? Who's your confidant? Who's your BFF, right? And if that BFF is on speed dial,
right,
without yet trusting the very person that you have said I do to, then you did wrong.
And it really is a problem, because oftentimes, unfortunately, what happens is you and your spouse, whichever one is at fault, gets over whatever the issue is. But whoever you dumped on, whoever you shared all the gory details with, they're still holding on to it. And that brings a strain in relationships.
So see this ring? I'm the wearer of the ring, right? This ring doesn't have multiple people that can fit into it.
Mm-hmm.
The ring is what you were given when you said, I do. You didn't say, okay, here's your ring and your ring and your ring, and now you got 3 rings and it. No. That's not the way this works. There's got to be a really, you just need to have the other conversation saying, you know what? I'm married. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm this.
Mm-hmm.
And say, hey, mom and dad, I still love you, but hey, she's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation has to roll through there.
Right.
Not roll over her. Not roll under her or
Mm-hmm.
roll around her, but it's
Mm-hmm.
got to go through. And I think that that's not intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's treachery because that's what you're doing. You're treacherous ground that you're rolling on. But this is, again, I really wanted, look, men have a difficult time expressing emotion.
And it's not always men, women.
I'm going to again, I'm taking the arrow, but it's really, how do you express yourself in a way that you're understood? And look, you might have to write.
Mm.
And I'm not saying send a text message either.
Right.
I'm saying you might have to write a note. You might have to write a journal and then let your wife read it. I'm just giving you some options.
Mm-hmm.
That if you can't articulate what you want to say, then use the vehicles in which that technology has given us for you to express yourself in a vehicle that will allow you to be heard. Listen, you might want to make a videotape all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You and the video and the camera, and you say, honey, I haven't been able to really say this, but this is the things I've really been wanting to say. And then you just let it rip and then send her the video.
So what are the tough topics do you think many couples struggle with?
Money, money, sex.
Money and sex.
Money and sex and family, extended family. Mm-hmm. I think those are the top 3. And I think, those are the 3. And I think, no, those are the 3.
I would agree with that.
I think it's money, sex, family. Mm-hmm. And I think that however you want to rate them, but those are the 3 pillars that cause the most. They can either be the great thing or they can be the bad thing.
Exactly. So one of the things and one of the discussions we had, and recently too, is around sex. And
we did.
Oh,
wow.
And one of the things
this is PG, by the way. Go ahead.
It is. One of the things that we acknowledge is that we're not mind readers.
God, no.
We don't know what you're thinking and what. So we got to learn how to communicate.
Can we talk? Right? For a minute. Right? But again, if you can't talk about it, write it. Mm-hmm. And say, and really don't put yourself back in that like, I'm a school kid and check a box if you like me. Which, you draw the boxes. Do you like me? Yes or no? Do you want to have sex tonight? Yes or no? No. I think that you got to be able, but see here, let's go back to the thing. Conversational intimacy builds everything else.
It definitely does.
Because it's either going to break the walls or it's going to build a wall. Mm-hmm. So again, take it from somebody who had difficulty in letting walls down, had built walls, and it took time. And I think that, what my wife always reminded me, I am not whomever. Right. It used to be. I am not that. I am not here, and I'm not hurting or doing or saying or articulating. It's just, so you have to change your mindset to receive who's in front of you. Now, that might not be everybody's problem, but look, everybody comes with junk in the trunk.
Oh, for sure.
And you bring it into the relationship. And it's how you empty out that trunk will enable you to have a strong, fruitful marriage because you're honest. And I think, look, I mean, we've heard some things during these counseling sessions. And hey, everybody's got them. It's just, how do you deal with them? And if you're not wanting to be honest with the person sitting next to you,
right,
then here's what my suggestion is. Find somebody that you can talk to, that you both can talk to, whether it be a certified psychologist, psychiatrist, a marriage count, whatever. But find somebody that you can unload.
And it's really important. And there are times when you may need to go separately to get whatever is on you off.
You better believe
it's so important. There are times you just need a neutral party.
Yep.
And they may not even say anything. I think it's more just the questioning and the repeating back so you could hear. That seems to help you get over whatever.
Well, and it's and listen, it is what they're trained in.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are just there to be the sounding board.
Yep.
And they might say a thing that will say, oh my God.
Exactly.
So you've been rambling you thought you were rambling for 45 minutes. And sometimes it's just that one thing that changes. Oh, I never saw it that way.
Exactly. Just giving you a different perspective.
Oh, I didn't even know I was stepping on your toe every night.
And we all have blind spots. You think about when you're driving, there's just certain parts that you just can't see without a rear view mirror. And I believe that people that serve in the role as a coach, a counselor, that's what we are for you. We're able to help you see what you can't see.
Right. But we are not your backseat drivers. You have a rear view mirror, but you don't need the backseat driver telling you, because that'll drive somebody crazy. So these are some things that I really have been just pondering, contemplating, really working in myself, saying, where have I lacked? Where is my strength? Where is my weakness? Where are some of my deficiencies? Because I'm saying, Lord, for the next 15 years, I don't want to some things you just don't want to repeat. Right. Some things you do because you've done a good job, but some things you don't. And again, I'm going back to everybody to say, look, if you're looking to build a strong, intimate marriage, it does not start in the bedroom. It starts in conversation.
I agree.
And if you're doing it the other way, as you get older and things just don't work like they used to, you're going to find that you're missing something and you can't then replace it because you've never talked about it. So anyway, I'm just giving you some observations that I have made as a pastor, as a husband, as a brother, listening and seeing other men. And I think that it concerns me that we're not better conversationalists.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we can go around and find 3 guys and we can talk sports until the cows come home. But we can't talk to our wife about, you just got fired.
Right. Exactly.
That, my friends, is a red flag. And you say, oh, well, I had to call my friend first. Oh, no, your wife's supposed to be your best friend. Well, I called my mom first. Wrong answer. You want to tick off your wife? How come I had to hear it from your mother that you lost your job? Joe, John,
exactly.
James. That sets a flame.
It totally does. And it's just really important that you as a couple, first of all, recognize that you are a unit and that you need to be able to discuss whatever. So I know for a lot of us women, we can struggle with negativity. When we do talk, all you hear is something negative. Yeah. So I automatically think of things that women can do, and not just women, but men as well. But from a man's perspective, the woman that when she does talk, it's just negative, negative, negative. You have nothing positive to say. You're not building up.
So you
I,
want
I
me?
think
So you want to tell
about
you what happens?
the Proverbs woman with the drip, drip, drip.
Yeah,
And
I'd
you'd
rather be.
rather on,
I would rather be on a rooftop
right.
than in a house with a brawling woman.
Mhm.
I know that scripture.
Amen.
So here's where herein lies some of the rub. If that's what the way it's going to be going down, you're basically chasing your husband out to go talk to somebody else.
Mm.
And here's the thing: you don't want him talking to Susie, Mary, or Joe, or whomever, Josephine, or whomever.
Yes.
Because that's what you're going to do. Because if you are negative Nancy, and then everything that comes out of your mouth is, you know what, you're too short. You know what, you're too fat. You know what, you're too slow. You know what, you're a slob. You know, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're this. And then he then fires those salvos back at you. And then you tell everybody he's picking on you.
Exactly.
But you didn't tell everybody that you destroyed his you've made him insecure because of what you've done. And how do you then turn that around?
Yeah. And I know some women struggle. You know, all they see is the stuff that he can't do, the stuff that he isn't doing. But I challenge you, think about even using a gratitude journal. Every day, just write down something that he said, he did, something positive. Because as you start to look for positive things, you'll see more things. Whatever we focus on, that's what gets our attention. And it's so important that we learn to affirm our men, to be able to shore them up. One of the things I said to John when we first got married is that I wanted our home to be his safe haven. I wanted him when he got home to feel, oh, I appreciate that he's here.
Well, and I tell you what, having been a salesman who was on the road, by the way, when she retired and she can come with me, it was the greatest thing that ever happened. That was me. Because home came with me. She made the home. She made the home. Not the walls. She created the environment of home. So when I came home after 3 or 4 days, my bag goes down and I knew I was fine. It didn't matter if I didn't close a deal. Didn't matter what happened with my boss. It didn't matter what happened with it didn't matter. Why? Because I was in a place that I knew had been created just for me.
And, you know, I think about the scripture, and this is relative to Jesus, but with loving kindness.
Have I drawn thee?
Have I drawn thee? I feel the same with our husband. I remember before I got married, you know, women were always giving each other advice.
Yeah.
And one of the women,
still do.
First of all, she said, if you need to talk about something sensitive, wait until after y'all finish your intimate time, because they'll be more open. And I was like, wow, that's interesting.
More
keep
wars,
that in mind.
more wars have been won.
I'll tell you. With that pillow talk.
I was just about to say that. So you're correct.
Great minds.
So
yes.
yeah. But look, that shouldn't be the weapon of always the choice. Okay, I think that look, yes, it's one of those silver bullets that you pull out. I do say that.
Amen.
But it's got to be. I'm going to use the word concerned again because I'm really concerned. And you know what I'm concerned about? This generation that's coming up that is a text generation.
Oh my goodness.
That is a non-facing generation.
Right.
That is a don't know how to communicate unless they have a device.
Skills, exactly.
So
in the same room,
correct,
texting one another.
Correct. So that's the generation that concerns me. Because I think about the isolation generation of COVID, right? I think about coping skills. How do we talk? How do we do? Now we're talking to AI.
Very true.
And we're having better conversations with AI than we do with our partners. And this is where I'm concerned.
Amen.
Because as a pastor, this is where I'm concerned. Because if these young men and women do not know how to communicate, what are they going to do when it gets hard?
Oof, that's for sure.
What are they going to do when it gets when it gets so trying and they don't have a means of articulating because they've never done it? It's a muscle that has never been used.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're asking them to say, you need to talk it out.
Yeah.
And they say, I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean you want me to text them? You want me to send them an emoji? You want me to send them whatever? No, that's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to put some syllables together and have a conversation. And unfortunately, that's where we are.
Mm.
And I'm looking at a church that doesn't know how to articulate to these children, because we think that it's this. They think that it's this.
Yeah.
Where do we find, there's a gap. And that gap is what's scaring me, because these young men and women are getting to the point of marriage age, right? They're reaching 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, right? I would even say up to our son at 28, because he's going to be 28 next Friday.
Next week.
So between that 18 to 28, I'm going to say 13 to 20, that 15-year gap, they're seeing technology at rates of speed. They got AI that they're seeing now. We've gotten our first graduates that went through COVID. They lost the ability to communicate.
Valuable time, yeah.
And it's a concern, because if it doesn't come from a technology, or it doesn't come in their earbuds, or if it doesn't come on their headset, they are lost.
And part of it is our fault.
Yeah,
we've
absolutely.
used the technology as babysitters.
Correct.
Instead of
we had TVs, and now it's different. It's shrunken down to a hand size.
Exactly. So instead of having meals around the table where you're discussing your day, it doesn't happen.
Well, I remember
anymore.
and it's not even showing. Remember the commercial? They used to go to grandmother and grandma's house, and they used to put their phones in a basket. And then the one lady had like 3 or 4 phones, and she was trying to say, okay, dump them all in. But look, I don't know. It's like there's a DNR on communication. Do not resuscitate. Don't even bother.
No, we have to bother.
Well, we have to bother, right?
Because if you want to maintain a relationship,
you have no choice.
Exactly.
And if we, as parents, as adults, as mentors, as leaders, don't begin to influence these conversations, look, I would say that if I asked a bunch of kids, they're probably going to tell me, my mom don't talk to me. She sends me a text.
And let's retrain our minds. We are preparing somebody's spouse.
Oh God, I'm scared.
We are preparing somebody's husband, somebody's wife.
Oh, Jesus.
And I think about some of the young people. I was blessed to educate hundreds as a principal, as teacher, as a professor, dealing with a lot of young people, and to see just how wayward they are. We have a job to do. So, one of the things we've lost with all of this mobility is a real sense of community, where you've got generations that are growing up near one another and there to support, there to babysit, there to help, there to educate, there to discipline the kids. So, boy, have we gotten off of relationships, but anyway.
No, but it's not. It is the foundation of a relationship. So we haven't gotten off of it. It's still on. You're talking about roadmap to marriage, and if your roadmap does not include conversation or have conversation, then you need to go back and start from the beginning. And as I was sitting here, my wife was talking. I remember I used to have memorize phone numbers. Now they're in my phone. I used to have memorize how to get someplace. I don't have to. I just hit the button.
Right.
And so those are some skills that we've lost, right? Those critical learnings, those critical analytical skills that we're losing. And if we have critically lost, that's another thing. We don't even write.
We don't know how to write.
We don't even have to write. You don't have to test it anymore because it wipe out. bing, forget it. We used to take typewriter. But anyway, those are the things that as leaders that we are really looking at. This will change. This is changing how how people enter into marriages today.
And even those of us that are married, sometimes, like we said, you just need an outside person to help you communicate with one another and to show you how you're missing one another, how you are passing ships in the night. So we invite you to go to our website, roadmaptomarriage.com, or scan the QR code.
Right there.
And schedule a free discovery call.
You said free?
Yeah, it's a free discovery call.
Free.
And we would love to talk with you. If you're a couple, make sure you say that so he's on, because normally I do them by myself.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to share with you before we sign off this week, I am so excited. We are just weeks away from our Roadmap to Marriage retreat for single women of faith in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands.
No passport needed.
No passport needed. It's April 11th through the 17th. And our promo is still going on. So go to the website, click on that tab for retreat, and learn all about it. I can't wait. We have so many things in store for you for that week. And listen, if you are lacking community, this is one way to gain one, because we are going to be together for a period of 3 months after our week of one-on-one coaching, group activities, some fun in the sun and sand, excursions, all of that. When we get back, we'll be supporting you with 3 months of group coaching. So what do you have to lose?
Nothing.
You're going to leave with your personalized roadmap. And we're here to help build kingdom marriages. So we're just grateful for this space and the technology that allows us to reach around the world. So please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so whenever we go live, you're able to see us. And until next week, we will see you. And listen, please drop some comments. We'd love to hear from our viewers. And if you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, let us know that as well. So until next week, bye-bye.